Hey everyone, this is Dragnix, and this is Second Take. We all know that games can catch our eyes, be fun at first glance, and be good during that first play session with it being something new, something interesting, and with gameplay we haven't experienced in a while or ever before. But it begs the question, does the game hold up on that second major play session? The question becomes, when the shininess of the game rubs off, is it still fun underneath it, or does the experience become less of what we thought it was? Well, after doing a trial run on Iron Fisticle, I sat down to play it again today to see if it had the same initial effect on me. The top-down shooting at the second glance is still fun. Getting more used to the controls, especially the dashing ability, which can kill enemies if you time it right, and can get you out of hairy situations very quickly. The difficulty does raise with deeper levels, so you'll be relying on it more and more as time goes on. It is a welcome addition to the game. Enemy hordes pick up in later levels, and that means a bigger challenge for you. It becomes less about killing enemies, well, okay, you still need to, but finding the optimal way to kill your enemies to give yourself more real estate to work with. It keeps you on your feet. More enemies later on will have slight alterations in pathfinding or different ways for them to damage you. Again, it keeps you on your feet, which means you'll be engaged with the game throughout your play session. The bonus levels were still a mixed bag for me. These seemed randomly generated, but at times I wonder if the level was completable. The stage moves with you, and you can die against the left of the screen if you don't move fast enough. There seemed to be times that I'd run into a moving obstacle that I'd have to wait on, and would lose too much ground to make up. I may just be bitter after losing at these levels over and over again, but don't get me wrong, the variety is still here and rewards you for being good at platforming. One thing that doesn't hold up is the starting back at the first level again. Here's the thing, like I said in the last video, there are permanent upgrades that will carry over in the next playthrough, so accumulate enough and the challenge of the first levels fall off a bit. However, it is counteracted by the fact that you can start on whatever floor you've unlocked at that point, and that's a welcome relief as that could have hurt the playability of the game. It's good design, and there's still reasons to play earlier levels if you're going for major runs and want to hoard power-ups for the later levels. It gave me a reason to still want to play through it. I love progression in games, in terms of unlocks and finding the next item, and in the second play session that did not change. New weapons and stab boosts were unlockable still, and the weapons at this point still felt unique and not repetitive. Bombs had an interesting arc that made it hard to target a specific enemy, but cleared out drones of enemies rather quickly. Daggers range more in a wider arc over distance to your character, helping clear paths quickly to escape from. In a whole, it's one of the more lovely parts about this game. Each weapon does feel like it has an optimal strategy to use, and rewards you in using the weapon to its strengths. But not to say that the game doesn't have any faults. While the random dungeons help keep the variety, there are times where it came to bite me in the ass. If the room spawns in a way to make certain funnels of death later on, such as only having the edges of the room be available, if you don't have the fire rate or weapons to keep up with your enemies, which is random by the way, you're going to die very quickly, and seemingly in situations you couldn't have handled. Your goal at that point is to get out with as little damage as possible, and in a game where life can be scarce when you need it, that's not a fun proposition. In addition, I like to have seen big hearts at the store to maybe counteract the damage taken, or the ability to buy multiple small hearts. Now, it's possible I haven't run into a situation where I've been offered a big heart at the store, but after 4 or 5 hours into the game, I would expect to have seen it at this point. The reward would still be there if it was offered. You earn the coin to get to that point, but it's not too easy so you can purchase it anytime you have gotten to the store. But overall, I stand by my original take. It's definitely worth the $8 for any fans of the top-down shooter, and I will say it's probably worth the $8 even if it isn't your favorite genre. The production for the indie game here is high, and you won't be disappointed, at least in my eyes. Hey, thanks for watching. If you have a chance, leave some feedback and comments below. If you liked the video, hit that like button. And if you want more content like this, hit that subscribe button. This is Dragnix signing off, hoping that gaming brings as much fun to you as it does for me.